Hello. So, another day, another blog, and as soon as I read the title of the blog, I realized I had to make a video on this. This is software developers will be thriving in 5 years despite what your YouTube feed says, right? If your YouTube is like mine, 90% of it is filled with cloud code will replace you. AI engineers are the future. Engineers are not needed. Everything can be done with cloud code. Everything can be done with the new. I'm not sure what is that thing called. It has been renamed thrice, Maltbot or something, right? Like everything can be replaced by AI. So 2025 has been an extraordinary year for generative AI. True, my YouTube feed has been overrun with AI headlines that tell me that AI will replace you. Microsoft and Amazon are spending like billions of dollars on properties and data centers. They are hardly betting. They are betting hard on AI being a part of the future, right? We are seeing that. Like it's 2026 and we're still seeing that, right? As software developers feel like our days are numbered because everyone is making us feel like that, and somewhere it's true also, right? Because most of the people I see right now, they don't actually code or they don't actually like search on Google the way we used to. Most of them just end up typing it in ChatGPT like, hey, can you tell me what this is, can you write this for me? Even I am doing the same thing, right? Now the underlying, despite all of this, I really don't think they are. In fact, I believe software developers will be flourishing in 5 years, and here's why. The underlying models are not improving. The innovation happens around the tool. In the software AI space this year has been immense. Cursor has evolved drastically with new features, right? With their new Dreamweaver like UI visual editor, where you just type in a prompt, it gives you a UI, and from that you can just edit things to make it to your liking. This image is so true, right? Like most of the people and most of the videos I'm watching on YouTube, everyone is teaching you how to use an MCP server, what is an MCP server, like how do you connect all those things, but I don't see a lot of people actually using it. Zomato came up with their own MCP server, but how many people are actually using it to like order something from Zomato, man? Like when I'm ordering something from Zomato, I want to see it, right? Cloud code continues to evolve too. Every tool we use now has some MCP available, and other UIs we need to integrate with all seem to have some form of integration nowadays. That is Jira, GitHub, GitLabs. Like, I mean, who asked AI in Jira? Like, if you're a software developer, you have used Jira. Why do you need AI in Jira, man? Like, it makes no sense. Trying to fit AI every single place. Notepad has AI. I didn't ask for it. No one asked for it. Notepad doesn't need AI. Now, like I said, it's been quite a year, but these are all innovations in tools. The underlying AI model hasn't really gotten any better. That's true, right? When ChatGPT initially launched, everyone was marveled by how good it was. Then the new version came, which was really better. Then 3 came, which was even better than that. Then Gemini launched. Then Claude launched. Like all of them are really good. But now most of it is just marginal improvement. None of it is like, oh damn, like this is so damn good kind of improvement. Even the cloud code which they are building, it is more of orchestration than actual the base models getting really better. The context windows are not that great. They're still almost the same with slight improvement, right? And okay, yeah, they're still really useful in the right context, but they aren't making meaningful differences for what we had before. That's true. We are at the point now where we are tweaking and tuning for optimization rather than bringing new kind of major innovations. Yes. Now, up until now, companies like OpenAI and Anthropic have been relying on throwing massive amount of data at the models and seeing improvement happen that way. And it worked, but it's not working anymore regardless of how much data they have been trained on. And I also have a point, that is most of the data that is being generated right now is being generated by AI. Like initially there was a huge ton of data which was done by us, by humans. It could be code, it could be art, it could be blogs like this, it could be articles, it could be websites. Most of it was being written by humans, content writers, all those things, right? But recently, most of it is being written by AI. So AI text is being used to train AI. Is that really gonna give you a better model, better result? Like the quality of the input has definitely decreased. This begs the question: are the current set of tools and AI models good enough to replace majority of software engineers? Not a chance. Software engineer, yeah, like there's this huge not misconception, it's just that people just believe, like when you say software engineer, the only thing that comes to their head is apps and websites. Like there is more to software engineering than just apps and websites. Software engineers make and maintain being the highlighted word, software for all sorts of things: aeroplanes, power stations, military weapons, financial markets, banks, utility services, the internet. The list goes on. Pretty much whatever you see in your house will have interacted with some form of software during its life cycle. That's true, right? Like, would you really trust a completely automated AI replacing a human and taking care of the entire thing for banking systems or financial markets? Would you really trust that? Like, from the day ChatGPT has come, or from the that duration, the amount of bugs which are being generated has significantly increased. Recently, Amazon just came up and told that they were down for a few hours because of a mistake by an AI. This is Amazon we are speaking about. Like most of us know, there's usually a development stage, pre-prod, production. These are the different environments we have, which are being tested in all these environments. How did it go wrong? Now we are close to a point where we can hand over are we close to a point where we can hand over all maintenance and innovation of our current software to yet another piece of software, which whose primary skill is being good at predicting the next token, right? Like that's how generative transformers work, right? You have given it some form of text, it uses prediction to predict the next text. It doesn't actually think what's happening the way we can think, it just predicts the next outcome. Now I measure I mean, as I write, this is gonna sound lunatic, right? Absolute madness that sounds, some people think it is even possible. The amount of complexity and responsibilities in these systems is mind blowing. What about innovation? I don't find this spoken too much in the AI world. Sure, generative AI can make you more productive, especially if you know what you are doing in the first place. It's a focus force multiplier. True, right? Like if I'm building something and if I exactly know what I am doing, what I want it to do, rather than me typing it out, I'm asking it to just do it for me. In that sense, it is actually making my work a lot less cumbersome because it is doing what I want to do, what I know has to be done. Instead of that, if I'm just telling it, okay, can you build me this product features, these are all the list of features I want, and I just click enter, it creates a document, it does everything, and it just implements the functionality. I have no idea of what's happening in the code base, right? I think as a software developer, a huge chunk of your time is spent on maintenance and spent on solving bugs. If you have no idea of what's happening in your own code base, what is the point of everything? Now, uh, innovation is crucial for software evolution. Look where we started with back in the day. Help Alan Turing cracked the Enigma machine compared to where we are now. That happened thanks to many small changes and large steps of innovation. All this innovation, AI could get lucky. Yeah, this statement: AI can't pursue a goal over a long period. It can't spend years on a problem, chipping away at it, mulling mulling it over in its mind, looking at it from thousand different angles until it suddenly sees the leap that no one has spotted before. This is where true innovation comes from. That's true, right? Like even when Anthropic recently did their entire stunt of creating a compiler from scratch, they did the compiler thing. They did what it was another browser they tried to implement from scratch. Now it was clearly visible that whatever it had built was nothing but just taking the existing GCC code and just taking it and putting it together. Like, you don't need AI for that. Like, how is it building from scratch if I'm using pre-built libraries? That what happened for even the browser thing, right? It used so many open source libraries while building the software. Okay, let's give it that aspect. Okay, maybe it cannot build it from scratch because it is being trained on this data, so it has to know that. But here's the kicker, it didn't work. Like, the C compiler which they told is capable of compiling C code, it did not compile. Like, when people try to download the open source version of it, it failed. It's not compiling. You spend like tens of thousands of dollars orchestrating so many bots or so many AI agents to build something, to create an end product that doesn't work, right? Software is more than just writing code. I think this has to be a statement which has to be told to each and every non technical person, every stakeholder of a company, that coding is not just writing code, right? Like, software is not just writing code. This year, with all the AI presence in our workspace, I have realized one thing over and over again. Writing the code is just a small part of what makes up the skill set of a software developer. It's an important and a crucial part, but still only a small part. That is so goddamn true. Because if you're actually working in a company right now, I think you can relate to what I'm saying. Because speaking with your non technical stakeholders, trying to make them understand why something works the way it works, and the amount of time it's going to take to change it, and how it has to be changed, and once it is changed and you give it back to the stakeholder for review, and they give you like 10 different reviews which are so contradicting that you have to sit and explain it back to them, like the statement 1 and statement 2 is contradicting. Like, I don't think an AI can do that. Like, if I tell an AI do this, it says okay, I'll do that. Then if I tell the way you have implemented this is completely wrong, it will just agree with me telling yes, what I did is wrong, I'll change my approach. Like, bro, stick to your plan. It has no feature for that yet, I'm assuming. It doesn't have the required, I don't know if it's called skills or the patience to deal with stakeholders, and communicating with your own team, dividing the work into smaller chunks, maintaining a good relationship with people. Like, all these play in the realm of soft skills, right? You need to be able to talk to people, ask the stakeholders the right questions, exactly, because most of the time they don't know what they want. They have a vague idea of how the end product should look. They don't know how it should work. They don't have the idea of like how they're going to interact with it. They have just the end goal of it, right? Have a high level, where it was I the right questions, know when and how to say no. This is a very good statement. Have a high level of technical communication to explain your code to the appropriate level depending on whom you are communicating with. True, right? If it is a tech lead, you know, you can be a lot more technical with that person than if it is your stakeholder who has no idea about coding. They just feel like migration means taking this from here and putting it there. They don't realize the underlying implications that has to be taken and the steps that has to be taken to do it. Planning and prioritize. When working on any meaningful piece of software, there are usually quite a few people involved. Gathering enough information from all those people about the current situation of the software, what's being asked to do, what needs to be done, and then making sure whoever will code the thing is crystal clear on what they need to do is a lot, and it isn't easy. That's true, especially when you're communicating across multiple teams, across, maybe you're working on the front end, you need to communicate with the back end team, you have to communicate with the cloud infrastructure team, the entire planning of when your code will be deployed, the entire testing phase, speaking with QA of what the feature is, writing a detailed acceptance criteria for the given ticket. Like all that has to be done. I don't think LLMs can do that. LLMs can't do this currently. They might be in the future, not sure. If it can do it, like I would be happy because I don't like writing test cases and acceptance criteria for my code, right? Like that's the boring part of it. Sort the signal from noises. This happens to me recently with a situation we had in prod app. It had become really slow suddenly. My boss used AI to diagnose the issue. Yes, and it found an issue. The problem was that it wasn't the issue that was causing the slowness. I knew this because I have spent the last month working on the app and I could see from the experience that this issue wasn't the issue. My context window was much larger than the LLM. Humans eventually found the root cause and it was resolved relatively quickly. That's true. This is something that humans are really good at. Building up knowledge over long periods of time that can be used to make informed and well judged decision. When you work on something for 5 years, you build up a whole bunch of useful knowledge all without trying hard. This could be a front-end developer who builds upon intuition about good UI and UX, or game developers who have real sense from what makes a good gameplay. All these skills are not easily replaced. I would argue, in fact, that current version of AI are not designed to replace these skills. The interesting thing is, we're in a place right now where we're becoming more and more evident what the special skill are that human being brings to their job. Yeah, man, like I feel it was a really good explainer on why we shouldn't be really worried about AI replacing us. Like it is just replacing that one aspect of writing code, and it's not even that good at it when you're working on a huge code base. Like even if I provided all the context and everything, it's still not that good at it. So focusing on our skills and working on it is way more important than just copy pasting code and not having any clue of what's happening, right? Like if you have been in the space long enough, you've heard your senior developers tell you like, hey, don't copy code which you don't understand from Stack Overflow and paste it in the system. Please make sure you understand what you're doing. Now we have reached a point where we are telling, just give it a prompt and accept whatever is coming your way in name of productivity. Like the complete shift of dynamics is mind boggling, right? Yeah, but that's it for this video. Bye.